You need water. Welcome to today's Homemaker Chats. We are bringing it outside today because I have a lot of work to do in the garden, and so I just figured today's Homemaker Chats is all things gardening and what I've been doing and all of that good stuff. So I hope that you enjoy today's Friday's Homemaker Chats. I will show you my little friends that are joining me here. We only have 2 chickens left of the big ones, and then, well, we start with 4, we're down to 2, and then we have our 5 little ones, which I'll show you because we've been taking them outside. Scott built a little chicken tractor for them. We haven't combined them with the big girls yet. Yeah, and they're still little, so they're, I think, 6 weeks old, so they're still inside. When the weather's bad, we've had a lot of rain this week, and then they're inside at night, definitely, and if both of us are gone, then they're inside. These 2 girls do a really good job at not digging in my garden beds. They just eat all the clover that's growing in here. The coleus has done so well here this year. I've just been very diligent with whenever they start going to seed, I will just snip off whatever is, the part that's going to seed, like this part. I'll just go ahead and do that to encourage it to keep getting bigger, because once you let those things go to seed, that is where the nutrients is going, not to making the plant bigger, but to producing seed. And I think that has been the key for these getting big this year, because in the past I've just let them go to seed. Oh, this is so disappointing. So this is a black-eyed Susan, and finally we had some about to bloom, and the deer keep eating this. My sunflower they ate. They obviously, I thought that they didn't like the coleus, but then there's that. All right, first things first, I am picking a whole bunch of butternut. I actually have a full, what do you call this, a bushel? A full basket in the kitchen already of butternut. I think it has been our best thing we've grown this year, and it is what I didn't plant. All of our butternut came up on their own. So I've got my heavy duty snips here, and then I thought I'd show you, oh, you're gonna see my shadow, our little friends. They're getting so big, and I'm gonna have to keep an eye on these big girls over here because they will attempt to peck them through the fence. So these 2 are the same breed. They're speckled, what are you doing? Speckled Sussexes, and this is Ethel. And she is significantly smaller than Agatha. So that's Agatha. They're the same breed. We got them at the same time. So I'm a little concerned. Agatha might be a rooster. We are hoping not. If you are a chicken lover and have had chickens and this is just a normal thing, I would love to know. Like, is she just a runt? Yeah, you can kind of see just the size difference between the 2. But you are so cute. She's the only one that hasn't developed a tail. So the zinnias have done so well. I have gotten so many bouquets from them. They are a little bit falling over, but they're still doing really, really good. Another thing that I've loved, my mom gave me cardinal vine seeds years ago, and they've now come up on their own, and I love the way they look. We have a honeysuckle vine over here, and they've taken over it, but it looks so pretty. They have these really pretty red flowers. Now that I've shared with you the things that are doing great, you're gonna feel really good about your garden after seeing how terrible mine looks. Oh, it's been a terrible tomato season. I've honestly kind of given up on them. Look at this. So sad. We have enough tomatoes to eat. That's fine. We have had an abundance to eat, and I have focused on, like, we eat tons of burgers, and anywhere I can put tomatoes within our meal, that's what we've been doing, because I just don't have enough to can. Because normally when I can, I will try to can 10 to 15 to 20 pounds of tomatoes at once to make it worth my time. And so far I've only canned 14 pounds, and it's been pasta sauce. So I'm going to see, I haven't taken an account for what all I have left from last year's tomato products. I have a lot. I have a lot from last year. I'm so grateful because I'm not going to get much at all preserved from this year. So I am just using them as they turn red, especially the big ones. We've had a lot of big ones, but I say we've had a lot of big ones, but I look back at like last year's photos on my phone, and we were gathering bushels full, baskets full every other day. So yeah, just think it's been a bad tomato year. I didn't do a good job at trimming the suckers. Lots of lessons learned. And here we are. Is she being mean to you? I just cut the biggest butternut I've ever grown, but let me show you what is right next to it. So over here, we have the disaster broccoli situation. I was thinking I need to watch my step. Mainly, I was thinking if I step on a snake, this is gonna be horrible. Okay, so, oh my word, okay. Look at this. You can't even see our paths anymore. But it's all for good reasons because this is butternut. Anyways, here's the biggest butternut I've ever grown. Huge, absolutely massive. Look at you. You're so cute. Are you eating? You're eating a beet. You also might be eating my butternuts because, well, I don't know. The butternut that was eaten had a hole right next to it, and that wouldn't have been from you. All right, let's get this out and see if there's any damage. Nope. Maybe he tried nibbling on it. I mean, let's see. This is my arm. That is crazy. All right, bye little turtle. I should probably take you out of here, but yeah, I'm not touching you. You can stay there. I might regret that later. Massive. So, It's not funny. It's just funny because I decided to make this my Homemaker's Chats video. And I'm out in the garden snipping these butternuts. I am clumsy and I dropped those snips on my foot. I didn't know at the time, but they dropped sharp part face down, apparently. I just thought, oh, that hurt. Like, that's really sore. But I just thought, you drop things and it's fine, move on. And I'm walking around bleeding profusely without realizing it. And then by the time I realize it, there's like, yeah. Anyways, so here I am, not in the garden. Got hardly anything done that I wanted to besides collecting a huge bucket of butternuts. So Scott, he brought all the butternuts in, and so I am resting with my foot propped up because it is so sore. You wouldn't think something like this would hurt that bad, but it did. And I will say, a few months ago, or maybe it was last year, I bought those like butterfly, I'll show you. I'll put it up on the screen. But we bought those because when Scott and I first got married and he was helping a guy do construction stuff, he cut his hand open, went to, not the ER, what is like the clinic or something. They charged us so much money for him just to get stitches. And so he asked the doctor, what would you do if you had this problem? And the doctor said super glue and those butterfly bandages. And so, I mean, obviously my issue's not that bad, but still it split the skin like clean, like a clean gash. And so you just use those little bandages to pull the skin back together. So I highly recommend having that in your little medical box. I was looking at my medical box when we were opening it up and Scott was helping me fix my foot. And I was like, I wonder what other things that I need that I can put in there, because we cleaned my foot with diluted hydrogen peroxide. And yeah, what are key things you have in your medical kit, emergency kit, that you've needed or has been such a blessing to you? I'm curious. I would love to know, because I'm always working on adding more things to our little kit. And maybe if you're interested, I can show you what we have in ours, but it's really not anything excessive. So I do have tomatoes that need to be turned into pasta sauce tonight. So I have ice on my foot, and yeah, this is like a minor problem, honestly. It's just a major inconvenience. When you feel like you're on a roll, it's like, I'm getting so much done, I'm so productive, and here we are sitting on the couch. So we'll see if I get anything else done. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what is in our medical box, since it is the topic of this conversation, and this also goes in the medical bag. It is a heat pad. Okay, this is our box that has all of the first aid stuff in it. Lock it up, and I put it in our closet. All right, like I said, this is not exhaustive, so I am open to hearing what you all recommend that I have in this. So cotton balls, exam gloves, gauze pads, and these type of gauze pads. I thought this was, oh yeah, it is. I was like, I thought this was bentonite clay. It is bentonite clay. Bentonite clay is a drawing clay. This I bought earlier this year. I had a tick bite, and I didn't get like the bullseye ring or whatever, but I did go to our local health food shop, and I went there to buy cat claw, because that's supposed to be a good tincture for tick bites to take like internally. And then also, I can't think of the other one. It starts with an A, another tincture. I'll put it up on the screen. So I asked the girl what she recommended in there, and she recommended this black blood root salve, and this is a drawing salve. And so I did put this on the tick bite with a Band-Aid, and it is supposed to draw out the I don't know, whatever ticks put inside of you. I just didn't want to deal with any of the side effects of tick bites down the road. So I did buy this. It was very expensive, but this should last us the rest of our life because a little goes a very long way. Let's see if I can open this. Yeah. I mean, I used this for over a week and that's all that I used. I also, right when it happened, I did mix up bentonite clay and oregano oil and put that on it, not the essential oil, but oregano oil. And then, oh, and charcoal also I alternated. So I used all of those and I think it works. So that's in here. This is from my sister. It is the Young Living Rose Ointment. I made this a few years ago. It is Burn Balm, and let's see if I can read the label. I learned this recipe from Rosemary Gladstar. I infused calendula, comfrey, and St. John's wort in olive oil, and then I turned it into a salve with beeswax and vitamin E oil, and this does work. And then obviously bandages. This is a BBT thermometer, but it could be used for any thermometer. These are scissors, and these are like prongs. This lid keeps falling down. I need a better system. Got bandages, and then this my mom got me. It is a plantain salve. I've used quite a bit of this as well. Plantain is also a drawing salve. I actually put this on whenever I get ant bites, or I just put plantain, like the actual plantain leaf, and just scrunch it up and put that directly on the wound. Some adhesive tape, tea tree oil, colloidal silver, arnica. Arnica is amazing. I actually learned about arnica from Scott. So it is for, it's like if you played sports growing up and you put icy hot on sore muscles. Arnica is very good for sore muscles, pain, like if you have a stiff neck and you feel like your neck is stiff, or if you're tense and you're holding your shoulders up to your ears. If you're doing that right now, pay attention and loosen, take a deep breath and loosen up. Bring your shoulders down from your ears. This is also really nice. This is the, I think it's the Boron brand of the calendula cream ointment. Very useful. Propolis balm. This is my favorite balm. I don't make this. I make propolis tincture, but this is from South Africa, the local beekeeper down the road from where Scott's from. He makes this, and the ingredients are pure propolis wax, essential oils, aloe vera, and that's it. And I buy this in bulk. I buy it as gifts whenever we go back to South Africa because it is so useful. So I use this as an alternative for Neosporin. Whatever you would use Neosporin for, I use this. More gauze. Okay, this is the other thing that has been life-changing for Scott and I. Precision tweezers. My dad got these for us. Life-changing. If you do not have precision tweezers, invest in some, find some, get some. We leave this on because they are so sharp, but we get splinters quite often. And these work better than any other tweezer. It is so useful. I can, like, it sounds silly, life-changing. Scott and I have joked that we should give this as a wedding gift to newly married couples because it's one of those things you would never think of needing. This is what I was talking about earlier, and I showed you earlier. It is the butterfly closures. That's what it is. So you can see that's the two parts that you put over the side of the skin and you pull it together and it brings your gash together. So that's very useful. I actually don't even know what's in here. A Be Calm Soother Stick. This feels empty. I should open that and see if it's empty. I actually would take this when we traveled to South Africa on the plane because it's not a liquid, and put it on my temples. Let's see, the ingredients are olive oil, castor oil, magnesium oil, beeswax. Yeah, and then essential oils. But I do remember liking this on the plane. You could probably make something like that with these ingredients. This, I don't know where that came from, but yep, got that. I don't know where this came from. Iodine. A finger splint. And this thing, I got this. I actually had 3 of them. I gave 1 away, and so now we have 2, and I keep 1 in my box of all of our bug spray and sun lotion, and then this one I keep in here. But this is for removing ticks, and I think this is the brand. I bought it straight from their website a few years ago, and you can order a set of 3. And this is actually what we used to get the tick off of me. It is a tool that helps you make sure that you remove the head the way that it's made, and it does work. So we've only had to use it a few times. Surprisingly, where we live, there's lots of ticks, but we haven't had many cases of ticks being attached that we are aware of. So that's all that I have. I definitely know I need way more variety of bandages. That is a definite. Scott does not do well with the adhesive on bandages. It makes his skin break out in a rash whenever I mean, I've tried so many. I've tried name brands. I've tried off brands. What is this brand? Oh, this is a name. Yeah, I usually buy it off brand, but I bought the Band-Aid brand because I thought, well, maybe it's better, but no, it's not better. So if you have a sensitive skin Band-Aid, you can recommend that as well. And that's everything. Hopefully this did not bore you, but I am very interested in any of your medical kit stuff. I always appreciate your comments and feedback. It's very interesting to hear what everyone does. All right, to wrap up this video, I'm going to share with you the butternuts. So this is the group that I already had. I probably harvested over a month ago, and then I just was continuing to add on top. And this isn't even all the butternuts because we've had a lot of butternut for meals. We've given them away. It's just so abundant. Again, I didn't even plant these, and the Lord has provided for us. So I looked up how to best preserve butternut since we have so many, and a video on YouTube, if I can find it, I will link it, says to wash it and then sit it in the sun, and that's how you harden off the skin so it saves longer. I did save butternut last year, and I did not do that at all, and it still lasted until this year. So yeah, I probably am still gonna do that. Because most things you're not supposed to wash them to preserve them, but she said with butternut you are supposed to. So that's probably what I would do. This is basket 1, but also you'll see in the other basket I have so many of these. This is weird. It doesn't look like butternut, but it doesn't look like a pumpkin. And all of these came up on their own, so I didn't plant them. I've never bought anything that looks like this. It almost looks like a pumpkin combined with a butternut. Could that have happened? I don't know. It's fascinating. But that's basket number 1. And this is what I collected yesterday. This is the huge one that was over by the turtle. Wait, was this the huge one? Yes, because there's the little mark. But then I also found this one. This is actually the one that I found when I dropped the things on my foot. And then yeah, there's more of these ones. And then this is also very interesting. I have 2 that are this color. Isn't that weird? They were totally in the shade, like completely. Maybe that's why they're discolored. But the actual orange part is still kind of dark. So interesting. So that is the harvest. Oh, and then there was this one, which I found in the strawberry patch. And I'm just gonna cut that off, cut it open, and let the chickens have it, because I don't know what's happening here. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today's Homemakers Chats, and I hope that you have a lovely weekend.